Welcome to the last day of February, February 28th. It is a Tuesday, as you may realize, as opposed to our Wednesdays. Just a real quick update in terms of the weather. Once again, we're going to be fluxing up and down a little bit. Today's high is going to be 59, a low of 55. Tomorrow, dropping down a little bit cooler in the evenings, 33 degrees in the evening, but up to 66. And then we're going to start swinging back down again. 48 is the high on Thursday. The low is going to be 30. Friday, 38 with a low of 22, chilly. And then start to cycle back up again. So more of what is our new normal, right? A couple things of urgency that I want to get out today, and I think first and foremost is that the Athens County Emergency Management Association has issued a flash flood watch effective in Athens County until 7 p.m. on Wednesday, March 1st. So please remember that there are a number of emergency outlets out there that I've shared with you in the past. I didn't bring those for an update today, but know that you can be using Nixle, you can be go to the city's website. We will be keeping people updated as to what happens if things go from poor to worse when it comes to any potential flash flooding in our local environment. A lot of you are probably aware and tracking that we had a significant fire up at Carriage Hill Apartments last weekend, Sunday to be exact, at approximately 4:15 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. The Athens Fire Department was dispatched to the Carriage Hill Apartments, where Building 12 up there, there was a roof fire, well, a fire in the complex itself. It had breached the roof, and upon arriving, the crews found a heavy fire involvement, and it was spreading quickly throughout the attic of Building 12. It took until about 8:30 in the evening to bring that fire under control. I would really like to point out that we had a lot of assistance when it came to not only the fire, but taking care of the 33 families that were displaced up at the Carriage Hill Apartments. First and foremost, Richland Area Volunteer Fire Department was involved in fighting the fire, as was the Plains Volunteer Fire Department, Waterloo Township Fire Department, York Township Volunteer Fire Department showed up on scene, Athens County 911. Athens County Emergency Management Agency was there. The Athens County EMS, Emergency Medical Services, as well as the Red Cross Athens chapter. Ohio University was involved in helping to locate places for individuals to live. The Ohio University Police Department, the City of Athens Engineering and Public Works was involved in the happenings up there, as was the Athens City Administration, Athens City Police Department, and the Carriage Hill Apartments Management. It takes a village, literally, to watch out for each other and to protect each other, and this is a prime example of that. Occupants wishing to retrieve their belongings from Building 12 should contact the property management. And a copy of the fire report can be accessed from the city's website at www.ci.athens.oh.us /document center with a capital D and a capital S, one string, and then / again. So once again, from the city's administration to all those who assisted in that tragic event, a big thank you. As kind of an overview, a recap of that, no one was injured and no lives lost with that event. Along the same vein, a donation station has been set up at the city pool for the Carriage Hill apartment relief. Donation station was set up for the relief efforts. Donations can be are being accepted Monday, February 27th through, from 4:30 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, February 28th, so today. I'm sorry, that was for Monday the 27th, and then through today. From today, it's 9 a.m. until noon, so that's past. But I'm sure that if you speak to somebody down there at the community center, they will gladly take anything that you might be wanting to donate. Distribution times will be announced as soon as they are known for being able to get those items out to various people who are, I'm sure, in need. A number of things happening around the city when it comes to engineering and public works. Franklin Avenue, Frontier Communications. Frontier Communications is going to be working with their contractor, which is CTS Construction, to finalize the utility relocation along Franklin Avenue between Carpenter and Spring Street. The final phase of that work is expected to occur during the week of March 6th through March 10th. So keep that in mind, that likely to have those utilities being moved over from, I believe it's from the west side of the street's poles over to the other side of the street, to the east side. Planning Commission meeting, which was set for March 2nd, has been canceled, so that won't be going on this week. The other thing that's worth pointing out, or when it comes to, I'm bouncing around a little bit, but engineering and public works, is that there's a West Union Lane merger. The City of Athens is announcing intersection of West Union and 682, and this is the southbound lane coming from the plains, will be merged into one lane for guardrail repair. This work will begin tomorrow, Wednesday, March 1st, and should be completed by Thursday, March 2nd. The work is going to be going on from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you're advised to avoid this area when at all possible. Some other things happening around the city. Arts West. Arts West, come out and join Caddy Crab at Arts West this Saturday, March 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. for herbal adaptogens, learn how medical herbs can improve your health from a clinical herbalist. It's only $20 to $35 sliding scale for admission. So if you're interested in herbal medicines, come out and experience that. And let's see, today, the men's basketball game versus Buffalo. This is all part of the Bobcat Blizzard. For the sports administration and Ohio Athletics, come one, come all to that game. And then on March 1st, the women's game versus Bowling Green. Again, always enjoyable to come out and watch the Bobcats playing hoops, or any other sport for that matter. 2017 Disabilities Awareness Festival. This is something that we talked about last week briefly during my press conference last Wednesday, March 31st, 2016, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Athens Community Center. This is at 701 East State Street here in Athens. This is being sponsored by ACBDD, the Beacon School, ATCO, Personnel Plus, and PassionWorks. This is a great event. This is something that I have attended for multiple years now in terms of raising awareness of not only those living with disabilities and what their lives, hearing their life experiences and listening to the choir that will be performing, but also engaging with a lot of the disability services throughout our community. So please come out and be involved in that. Another thing that's coming up rather quickly, I have a little bit of time. The entries are due March 27th of 2017, but the Live Healthy, Love Athens banners that hang up and down Court Street. Currently we have the Veterans banners, but before those we had the Live Healthy, Love Athens. It's a Athens Uptown Flag Contest. So this is for the schools throughout Athens County, to where entries can come in from school-age kids, and they will be juried, and the top picks will find themselves adorning banners up and down Court Street. The banners will more than likely go up after Memorial Day, and will remain there probably through Veterans Day or up until Veterans Day of next fall. So be aware of that coming up. Again, that's the deadline for getting those submissions in is March 27th. Possible parking garage closure. Again, we don't have a firm on this yet, but we're looking at, it's weather dependent, but we're looking at sometime next week between the 6th, which is Monday, and possibly into the weekend. We're looking at probably a 3-day stretch, 72 hours, to have a rather noticeable black stripe, as we're calling it, on the parking garage floor on the first level. So we're hoping that we can get that corrected and finish up the punch list for the renovations to the community center, to the parking garage. So keep that in mind. We will certainly make sure people are notified as to when the parking garage closure will happen, but that is weather dependent. So as I read in my earlier weather report, your guess is as good as ours in terms of what the weather will be doing as that unfolds, but just as a brief heads up. And finally, actually not quite finally, one more thing, and then I'll go into my final topic that I wanted to talk about. But I have had a number of people who contacted me from throughout the city, and I think that there's been a number of city council members that have been asked as well as to the possibility or what the city's position is on having, being identified as a sanctuary city. For cities identifying themselves as such, there are a number of consequences that can be incurred with that, to include having funding removed or not being eligible for funding from the Department of Justice and potentially other funding sources. But I do want to kind of assure people that the city, and in particular with our law enforcement, one of the things that we don't do, we are an inclusive community. We all do look after each other. We do have a rather large university with Ohio University partnering with the city of Athens and have done such since 1804. That it is not within our current policy to go out and start looking for undocumented individuals. As I understand it, even in the past, have rarely, if ever, been asked to look for anyone, unless, of course, someone has committed some level of crime to where that's a different story altogether. If someone has committed some felony-related crime or a severe misdemeanor. But we are not out there looking for individuals who are undocumented or otherwise. So I just want to assure people that's not something that we are currently actively engaged with ICE in doing their bidding and looking for undocumented individuals. Finally, kind of a feel-good story here in the city of Athens, down at the West State Street Cemetery. I believe we have some slides we're going to put up, or at least some photos. There we go. We were asked to put up some bluebird boxes, and you're looking here at these several bluebird boxes that have been mounted within and set up within the West State Street, I'm sorry, West State Street Cemetery, my bad. This is great. This is a project that we teamed up with the Athens Soil and Water Conservation District. Conservation Education Coordinator has placed 4 of these bins, these bluebird houses. I know that the middle school students were involved. We were also assisted, you can see in these images, by our folks from the lands and building personnel, but Teresa Caldwell played an important role in getting these put up. And so this is great. This is something, when we heard about it, we right away, George Ivolson mentioned this to us, and we said, yes, we can absolutely do this, to put this up as a project within the cemetery. We may expand this in the future, but this is the first 4 to go up. So come out and take a look and see if we do end up getting bluebirds in the near future that start to nest in those boxes. We hope so. Kind of a cool additional feature to an otherwise pretty beautiful, tranquil space in one of our 2 cemeteries. That's all I have for today. Again, thank you for tuning in on a Tuesday as opposed to Wednesday. And next week we will go back to our normal Wednesday time period for having the mayor's press conference. I wish you all a great week and safe weekend, and hopefully you'll tune in next week. Take care.